A lot of people have never been to a wedding where the DJ actually motivates them to get on the dance floor. That often comes down to the DJ's lack of knowledge or simply apathy. There's a ton of skills that we pick up through experience over the years that allow us to build a rapport with the guests. Once you've built up the trust with the dance floor, that's when you'll have them in the palm of your hand. Well, here we are again, starting another gig log. Another simple day today. Today, they don't even have grand entrance. Corey and I are gonna be working together today, and he's gonna be doing the emceeing while I do the DJ, and he'll also run the photo booth, so it makes it a lot more fun to go out and do these gigs when you're doing it with one of the other DJs and have somebody else there with you. So I was talking to a friend, and he said that he attended a wedding and the DJ was absolutely horrible. And he said one of the things that he did was that he would play a really good song and he'd get people out there, but nobody wanted to stay out there because they knew a terrible song was coming next. So sometimes they wouldn't even get out of their seats because they knew that they'd get up, they'd get out there dancing, they'd get excited, and then he'd play a terrible song next. There's a certain level of trust that you have to have in your DJ in order to have good parties. So if the crowd generally doesn't trust you, they're not gonna dance to your music. Just pulling in. Ooh, I see the pole barn. That is where we're gonna be set up.
How we doing?
Doing good, this is sweet.
Yeah. Oh, is it air conditioning in here? Jeez.
Where do they want us at then?
Good question. She messaged me yesterday and she's like, hey, how much space for the DJ? We decided to move the ceremony in the barn. She goes, and we're just trying to lay things out. I told her like 10 feet. So she's got to have a spot planned for 10 feet.
Are you doing a lot of EDM stuff or anything like that?
I do, yeah.
Like, do you do a lot of remixes?
Not a ton of remixes, but
no?
If I throw it at them and I'm feeling it, then then I'll go into it.
If you feel like the crowd is like in the palm of your hand, you'll throw that stuff in there, right?
Oh yeah, I'll play whatever I want. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you get to that point?
I mean, I'm constantly like watching the reaction of the crowd. So I mean,
right.
I'll do something a little more mainstream, but like I've got a little more EDM remix of Shut Up and Dance. It's just got a different bass line in the background, but it's like, and then it goes into this like hype like break.
Yeah, is it the Jason Nevin one?
Yeah.
Nevin's one? Okay.
Yep. So like last night, that was my segue to see how they liked it. I was like, oh, okay, they're digging it. I'm vibing with the crowd. I guess I'm not trying.
It's a relationship, right? Like between you and the crowd, and so like
I'm vibing with the crowd. So like I'm trying to find that balance. Like I like to push the envelope, but I don't want to lose them. You know what I mean? Like I want them to like feel the energy that they didn't expect to feel at a wedding, because people don't expect that kind of like vibe at a wedding.
I am honored to announce for the first time Nicole and Jonathan Winters.
Currently under tornado watch. I hope that the storm misses us. It's kind of getting like that weird eerie feeling out here where you kind of feel like a storm is coming or like a tornado is coming. With music, your music selection, you got to make sure that early on you hit them with the bangers, things that keep people out there and then gain their trust. Once they fully trust you, then you can pretty much play anything you want as long as it's good music. You can kind of get into genres that you normally wouldn't be able to get into. Curious how many people organize their crates this way. I have the bride and groom's name up here, which is actually the one from the last wedding right now. And then I have all the formalities in the order that they go. And then I put a little emoji hand wave so that I know that this one's applicable for this wedding. And then I just put the songs in there. It makes things a lot easier. And then when I'm searching for their name, if I forget it, I just scroll down real quick and they're right there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Jonathan and Nicole, I want to welcome everybody to the reception. Let's kick off this evening with a big round of applause. Congratulations to the newlyweds tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, help me out. Let's put our hands together one more time for the new Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan and Nicole Winters.
slow off and check out the hook while my DJ tells. Hold up, honky. Open it, honky, add it to the mezzanine.
Thank you guys so much for having me a part of your big day. I'm Lee, and that's Corey from Ultimate Sounds. Have a great rest of the night and enjoy your weekend. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that was a small party, but a fun party. They really, really loved the 2000s, so it was fun mixing in some stuff that I haven't played in a little bit. There's a few tips that I want to share on how to build the energy throughout the night and really rock a party. Number one is to beat mix, and I cannot believe how many DJs aren't doing this still. It blows my mind. You lose energy in between songs, and you could be building the energy instead of losing it. So if you don't know how to do this, then practice, practice, practice. Seriously, you will not regret it. There's no reason not to learn. Number two is to not be cheesy. Seriously, there's so many cheesy DJs out there, I can't believe it. Don't play the chicken dance anymore. I even think that the YMCA is pretty cheesy. If you're not sure if you're being that cheesy DJ, ask friends that have been at weddings that you DJ'd. Record video of you emceeing and make sure that you're not being that cheesy DJ. There's nothing worse than that. Number three is to not switch genres too fast. Create sets of songs that work well together and flow from one to the next that are kind of similar in feeling or genres. Imagine that your jam just came on and you go out to the dance floor and you're dancing around and having a good time, and then the DJ throws on something completely different, something left field that you didn't expect, and it just completely throws off the vibe. That's why you don't want to switch genres too fast. Number four is an obvious one, but you need to be able to read a room. That means you need to be able to look around and kind of get a feeling of what the crowd's already gonna like. Once you've read the room, then you know you're not kind of going into it blind. Once a song works, you need to be able to follow up with one of your sets that you have prepared from earlier. That way you can have 4 or 5 songs that will keep them on the dance floor, and you'll build the dance floor by doing that. Number 5's kind of advanced, so if you're newer to DJing, then this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but basically what you wanna do is you wanna rotate a dance floor. Now, a lot of DJs have a problem with this because what they'll do is they'll try to switch genres or switch a crowd out or whatever, and they end up with an empty dance floor. You want to be able to kind of bridge the gap between these genres. That way, as you have a few trickle off the dance floor, you have a few more trickle back onto the dance floor to kind of fill in that gap. That way, the people that are tired or the people that need to get a drink can kind of go off and do that, go visit the photo booth, whatever it is, and then they can come back out later when you pull them back out and rotate the dance floor again. By rotating the dance floor, you'll never end up with an empty dance floor, and you'll have people that are going to get drinks and having a good time still. Once you do all of these things properly, this is where the trust begins to form. The dance floor is going to realize that you're not going to completely switch up the vibe on them as soon as they get onto the floor. Basically, you're kind of like, hey, I got you. Come on out to the dance floor. We're going to have a good time. I'm not going to screw this up. And obviously, these skills aren't going to come overnight. You're going to have to work for them. That means you're going to have to go out and gain experience and do gigs. You're going to have to practice in between. There's just no way around it. You have to work hard, but trust me, it's absolutely worth it because you're going to stand out from all the other DJs in your area. Word of mouth is going to travel fast, and people are going to start requesting you. I promise. You just have to put the work in. And that's it for me today, guys. If you found this video helpful or valuable, hit the like icon, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.